Hi everyone, it's Jenny McDougall here. This is just a short overview of Module 1, the very first module for you to complete in Preparation Skills for University. So obviously you want to get off to a really solid start, and so I'm hoping that I can answer some of your questions in this short video so that you can go forward with confidence. The good thing about Module 1 is there really isn't anything difficult at all. But there is a lot of information to get through, and I think that's one of the things about starting any new venture, and especially university. There are lots of things that you have to get your head around. So what we're hoping to do in this module in Prep Skills is actually really help that process, help you find your feet so that you are more familiar with the way we do things here in STEPS and at uni. So really the best place to start is with Module 1 of your study guide. Now this is always where I would recommend that students begin for any of their modules. If you go through Module 1 really slowly and carefully, not skim reading, but actually absorbing all the information and doing the activities step by step, what you'll find is that it's going to answer a lot of your questions and help you feel much more confident in the university environment. And that's really a large part of what we're trying to do in this subject, is to give you that confidence. So if you have had a look, you will notice that there are 3 parts to the module. So the first part is simply an introduction to this subject, to this unit, Prep Skills. The second part is more of a general introduction to university processes, the way we do things in STEPS. This part of it is really going to help you with all of your subjects, because it's going to help you become more familiar with some of the processes and procedures and, just the terminology that we use here. And then the third part of the module is a bit different, and that's just getting you to really think about what it is that you want to get out of your studies. That's part of the preparation, is actually knowing why you're here. So even if you don't exactly know what career it is that you want to get into eventually, everyone has good reasons for making that commitment to participate in the STEPS program. So we ask you to think about that, and also just to consider what you bring to this process as an adult learner, because everybody has skills and knowledge and attributes that are already really useful at university. So it's important to have that sort of an appreciation as well. And of course there'll be things that you know that you need to learn and skills that you need to develop. So as you're going through the study guide, you will be directed to certain online sites and resources. So you will need to go to the Moodle site, which is our online learning site, and that's the one for Prep Skills. Now you'll notice that there are these topics here that we're going through week by week. That's the main part of the site, and that will be the same for most of your Moodle sites and other subjects as well. And then you've got these blocks here on the left hand side, and they will be similar in your other units as well. So I'm hoping that everyone has already gone to the Getting Started topic, because there's some very useful information here. This video is one that I would urge you all to watch if you haven't done that already. Now, you may have noticed that at the end of each of these topics, at the end of each module, there's a weekly checkout with yoga and meditation. So we do encourage people to find time to relax, find that me time. Very important. So perhaps if you've thought about doing yoga, this is a chance for you to do that via these short videos which have been prepared especially for STEP students. So look out for those videos. You just click on the icon and it will take you to a short session there each week. But at this stage, the topic we're really looking at is week 1, which is for Module 1, preparing for university. And you'll see, of course, that there's a different topic, a different module for each week, so that actually makes it quite easy in terms of knowing how to keep up, and if you are keeping up. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of that, I just want to remind you about these blocks over here on the left hand side. That's where you'll find the unit profile, which has important assessment information and due dates. The discussion forums, great way to connect with other students, especially if you are a distance student. It can feel a bit lonely at times, so this is a really great way to talk to other people who are doing this subject with you. And you'll see that you can introduce yourself there. There's a study groups forum if you are interested in putting a shout out to anyone in your area, or you see that someone in your area would like to form a study group, and that's a good way to make that happen. And then my first week in steps is the forum that's dedicated especially to week 1. So tell us how you fared in your very first week of university studies. Study materials are there as well, and we talked about that in the earlier video, the getting started video. Now the support block here is important. This link might be something to note. If you do need more time for an assessment at any stage, you will go through that online process. There's IT help if you have any technical issues with Moodle or email or anything at all, and the library site. So there are lots of different services available to you, and you will see that you can access these in other parts of the university websites. There's more than one way often to get to these sorts of things. But the assessment block is quite particular to this subject. You can't find descriptions of these assessment tasks anywhere other than perhaps the unit profile and right here on Moodle. Now just a heads up that quiz 1 is due early on. It's due at the end of week 2, but that's nothing to be alarmed about. It's a very basic quiz, and it's really just asking you the sorts of things that you actually do need to know as a student here. Also to let you know that you'll be completing a learning portfolio which will build week by week, and when you finish module 1 you can actually make a start on that as well. So check out those links and you'll find videos like this one giving you some pointers for what to do. So it's good to be aware of what's coming up, and just rest assured there's lots of support for you for both of those assessment items, and neither of them are necessarily hard. It's just a matter of knowing what you have to do and being a little bit organised. So let's get back to module 1 itself. Now the modules are set out in a similar way for each topic, and we usually start by giving you a copy, an online copy of the study guide module, but of course, you know, we really do urge you to get that hard copy. It does make it much easier, but perhaps you need this one while you're waiting for that hard copy to arrive. The videos are here, so here's the overview video that we're creating now. You'll find the lecture recordings here. They will be very important to distance students especially, but they might be useful for on-campus students who miss a lecture with their lecturer on campus for whatever reason and they need to catch up. Now there are further resources here to support your learning in the study guide. This is a really important activity to do early on. If you click on that, you'll find that there's a checklist for you to download, places to find online, and we want you to tick them off as you go. And if you do that, it's really going to help you a lot with that first quiz. So there's a bit of a hint there. There are some other video tours here just to show you around and help you find your way around the sites. So additional resources that are referred to in those activities, there's a reading here by Brick. The contract is an activity where we ask you to just write down what it is that you want to get out of the STEPS experience. You won't necessarily know exactly what career you're going into, but everybody has some idea of why they're here. So write down your thoughts there and share that with your on-campus lecturer if you're an internal student. If you're a distance student, we'd love to hear from you. Remember, you will be assigned a support lecturer. Look out for that email, that important email They will be contacting you very early in the term to let you know who they are, so make sure you look out for that and take a note of their name and details. And they would love to hear from you, so if you were to fill out that contract and send it to them, that would be a really nice way for them to get to know you and to find out more about you. So there's the discussion forums again for the week, and of course the ones in the left-hand block will change week by week depending on what module is the current module for that time. This is also something that's worth downloading. It's a task sheet that tells you exactly what you have to do each week, so print it out, tick it off as you go. It's just a nice way of knowing that you are keeping up, that you've done absolutely everything that you can for each week, and then it's just quite affirming to know that you are on the right track. So look, I will leave it there. I know there's a lot of information to take in at once, but rest assured it will get easier, and even after this first module I guarantee that you will be feeling much more comfortable at university and feeling much more like you really do belong here. Certainly if you have any questions, we're only too happy to help you, so remember that as well. We're only ever an email or a phone call away. Really hope that you get some valuable learning from Module 1, and all the very best.